At first glance, yu looks almost useless. It's small, it's quiet, and it's very easy to ignore. But then you start seeing it everywhere. 终于、关于、由于、属于、对于、至于、在于, and suddenly you start wondering, wait, why does this tiny character keep showing up? Is it just decoration? Not really. Yu is doing quiet work all over Chinese. It can help point to a topic, a reason, a location, a comparison, a belonging, or even a final result. But here's the important part. Yu is not a magic key with one single meaning. So in this video, we're not going to force one English translation onto every Yu word. Instead, we are going on a little word hunt. We will look at words like 关于、由于、属于、位于、重于、青出于蓝 and see what Yu is quietly helping to do. By the end, Yu won't look useless anymore. It will feel like a tiny character that has been quietly working in the background all along. Before we look at words like 关于、由于、属于、终于, we need to understand one important thing. Yu is not a character with only one fixed meaning. In modern Chinese, yu is mostly used as a formal or written preposition. That means it often links an action or idea to something else. It can link to a place. For example, 生于北京, born in Beijing. Here, yu is similar to 在. It can link to a time. For example, 会议将于今日下午开始. The meeting will begin this afternoon. Here, yu appears before the time. It can link to an object or target. For example, 忠于职守, loyal to one's duty. Here, yu shows what the loyalty is directed toward. It can link to a source or reason. For example, 出于自愿, out of one's own will. Here, yu helps show where the action comes from. It can also appear in comparisons. For example, 重于泰山, heavier than Mount Tai, meaning extremely important. So, if you ask what does yu mean, the honest answer is it depends on the sentence. Sometimes it feels like in, sometimes like at, sometimes like to, sometimes like toward, sometimes like from, sometimes like then. And in classical Chinese, yu had even older uses. It could be used like yu, meaning in, at, to, or toward. Sometimes it could even work like a verb, meaning to go. For example, in the old phrase, 之子于归, means the woman is going to her husband's home. In other words, she is getting married. And sometimes in ancient poetry, yu was used more for rhythm without a strong meaning. So, no, yu is not a simple one word translation. But here's the useful shortcut for learners. Yu often shows a connection. It connects an action or idea to a place, time, target, reason, source, comparison, or direction. So in this video, don't memorize yu as one meaning. Instead, ask what is yu connecting here. That question is much more useful. Now let's start with a group that learners see all the time. 关于,对于,至于. These words often help introduce a topic, but they don't work exactly the same way. First, 关于. 关于 means about or regarding. It introduces the topic or scope, the thing we are talking about. For example, 这是一本关于中国文化的书. This is a book about Chinese culture. Here, 关于中国文化 tells us the topic of the book. Another example, 关于这个项目，我们还需要讨论. Regarding this project, we still need to discuss it. So you can think of 关于 as this is about this topic. Now, let's look at 对于. 对于 also often means regarding or as for, but the feeling is a little different. 对于 usually introduce the target of an attitude, opinion, response, or action. For example, 对于这个问题，我有不同的看法. Regarding this issue, I have a different opinion. Here, 这个问题 is the target of my opinion. Another example, 对于环境污染，我们必须采取措施. Regarding environmental pollution, we must take action. Here, 环境污染 is the problem we are responding to. So here is a simple shortcut. 关于 is about the topic. 对于 is toward the target of an opinion, attitude, response, or action. In some sentences, 关于 and 对于 can feel close in English because both may be translated as regarding. The real difference is the focus. 关于 focuses more on the subject matter. 对于 focuses more on your opinion, attitude, response, or action toward something. And there is one more useful word in this family, 至于. If 关于 introduces the main topic, 至于 often moves the spotlight to another related part of the conversation. Most of the time, 至于 means as for or when it comes to. For example, 至于明天去不去，我们晚点再决定. As for whether we are going tomorrow, we will decide later. Here, 至于 moves the spotlight to a specific topic. It feels like saying, okay, now about this part. So if everyone is talking about plans and suddenly you want to focus on one detail, you can use 至于. For example, 酒店已经订好了。至于交通，我们明天再安排。The hotel has already been booked. As for transportation, we will arrange it tomorrow. Very useful, right? But here's a small bonus. You may also hear 不至于. This does not mean as for. It means something else. Not to the point of, not that extreme, or surely not that bad. For example, 他很聪明，不至于连这点常识都没有. He's quite smart. He wouldn't be so clueless as to not even know this basic common sense. In daily English, the feeling is like, come on, he's not that clueless. So this is a good reminder. Don't translate 至于 too mechanically. In many sentences, 至于 moves the spotlight to a topic. But in 不至于, it means not to that extent. So in this group, 关于 introduces the topic. 对于 introduces the target of an opinion, attitude, response, or action. 至于 shifts attention to a topic you want to talk about separately. And again, 于 is not giving one exact English meaning in every word. But in this group, These words all help connect the sentence to a topic, target, or new focus. That's why yu is useful to notice. Now let's look at two very useful words, 属于 and 在于. These two words both show a relationship, but the relationship is different. First, 属于.属于 means to belong to be part of, or to fall under. For example, 这本书属于我. This book belongs to me. Here, the relationship is simple. The book is connected to its owner. So you can think A 属于 B means A belongs to B. Another example. 这片土地属于国家所有. This piece of land belongs to the state. But 属于 is not only about physical ownership. It can also mean something belongs to a group, category, or area. For example, 这个问题属于法律问题. This issue falls under legal matters. So 属于 can mean belongs to someone, belongs to a group, or falls under a category. The yu points to the side that something belongs to. Now, let's look at 在于. 在于 means to lie in, to depend on, or the key is in. It points to the real reason, key factor, or core issue. For example, 问题不在于钱，而在于时间. The problem is not the money, but the time. Here, 在于 points to the real issue. What is the problem really about? Not money, it's time. 成功的关键在于坚持. The key to success lies in persistence. This does not mean success is physically inside persistence. It means persistence is the key factor. You may also hear a classic phrase, 一年之计在于春. The plan for the year depends on spring. The idea is spring is the important starting point for the whole year. So here's a simple difference. 属于 answers who or what does this belong to? What group or category does it fall under? 在于 answers where is the key point? What does it depend on? What is the real issue? Don't translate 于 separately every time. Learn 属于 and 在于 as whole words. Sometimes 于 can appear in comparisons. A useful phrase is 重于. Here, 于 works like than. 重于 can mean heavier than, but very often it means more important than. For example, 友谊重于金钱. Friendship is more important than money. Another useful phrase, 行动重于言辞. Actions matter more than words. There is also a famous classical line, 人固有一死，或重于泰山，或轻于鸿毛. A simple meaning is, everyone dies one day. Some deaths are weightier than Mount Tai. Some are lighter than a feather. Of course, this is not really about physical weight. 重于泰山 means something is extremely meaningful or important. So here, yu introduces the thing being compared. Now let's look at a very famous idiom, 青出于蓝. People use this idiom to mean the student surpasses the teacher, or the next generation becomes better than the previous generation. But the original line is even more interesting. 青取之于蓝，而青于蓝. A simple meaning is, blue dye comes from the indigo plant, but it is bluer than the plant itself. Notice something cool? There are two yu here. In 取之于蓝, yu means from. The dye is taken from the indigo plant. But in 青玉蓝, yu means then. The blue color is bluer than the plant. So this one sentence shows why yu is tricky and why it is interesting. The same small character can point to different relationships from a source or then in comparison. That's why we don't translate yu the same way every time. We ask what relationship is it showing here? In 重于泰山, it shows comparison. In 取之于蓝, it shows source. In 青于蓝, it shows comparison again. So the big takeaway is you can introduce the thing being compared like then. But in classical or idiomatic expressions, it can also show source like from. So let's recap. Yu is a small character, but it appears in many important Chinese words. It is all formal and common in written expressions, but it does not have only one meaning. In different words, it appears in expressions connected to a topic like 关于,对于,至于, a reason or source like 由于,出于, belonging or key point like 属于,在于, location like 位于, comparison like 重于,泰山. The most important lesson is this. Don't translate yu the same way every time. Instead, when you see yu, pause and ask, what is being connected here? That one question can help you understand many formal Chinese words faster. So the next time you see 终于,关于,由于,属于,对于, don't ignore the tiny yu. It may be small, but it's doing quiet work. And once you notice it, Chinese starts to feel a little less mysterious. Which yu word do you see the most? 终于,关于,由于,属于? Tell me in the comments. And if you like this kind of video, I can make more lessons about tiny Chinese characters that appear everywhere but are rarely explained clearly. See you in the next video. 再见.